It's wage talk time in the gold industry, and South African Chamber of Mines Chief Negotiator Elize Strydom is with us. Elize, welcome to us. Tell us about the process. Every 2 years this comes up. We forget how it works the previous year. One thing that keeps happening is these huge demands, which we know aren't going to be met, but there's a whole process before the decision is made. Just take us through that.
Well, next week, the CEOs are going to meet with the union leadership. That's actually quite new. We haven't done it before, but the CEOs felt that it was very necessary for the leadership to get together to talk about the state of the gold industry, but more than that, also to look at the issue of sustainability and what we can collectively do as partners.
There's also news coming out that the union bosses are considering negotiating directly with some of the mining houses because they feel frustrated with the council. How does that fit into the broader equation, and does this undermine the work that you do?
I sincerely hope not. We have indicated to AMCU in particular that we are going to negotiate again centrally, all collectively as the gold mining companies. AMCU has been invited, and we will look at various issues, process issues. If they feel that we need to bring in, for example, mediators from the word go to assist us in proper conversations and negotiations, it's something that we will be prepared to look at.
Elize, on the one hand, you've got a new union, they're competing with each other to deliver to the workers. On the other hand, gold in particular, a sunset industry, it has been for 45 years. Yes. And you want the industry to survive. Those wage demands are seen by the industry as unsustainable. There are trust issues in making this work, aren't there?
Definitely. And it will now be for us to be true leaders, for the CEOs, for the union leadership, to say, let's put these trust issues aside if possible. Let's put the priority should be the mining industry and sustainability for the sake of the employees, for the sake of the companies.
How big is the gap going into these negotiations? And by the gap, I mean in terms of the demands that the unions are putting down compared to what the mining houses are looking at?
It's huge. It's huge. But our focus is not going to go and be to talk about the gap and so on. We're going to say, let's look at what is sustainable. Let's not look at a wage offer or even agree to a wage increase that we know already is not sustainable.
I think the gap is something like 8% to 80%, but the other big gap that keeps being brought up is the gap between the top executives, their massive packages by any standards, and the guys who go underground relatively very low. Yeah. There's a trust issue there as well. Is the industry sensitive to this? Because yes, you can say supply and demand at executive level, but are they sensitive to how important this is and how emotional it is?
We must be sensitive to it. I mean, it's an issue that comes up every time. So we will hear this issue. We are sensitive to it, definitely.
Quick one, what are the attitudes like at the table right now? Are they hardening? Are they softening? Do you get a sense that this is going to be a better round than previous ones?
I think it's going to be a very tough round. We have 4 trade unions around the table, NAM, AMCU, UASA, Solidarity. It's going to be very tough, but that's our job. Our job is to negotiate and to try and find a solution.
Well, a very big thank you to Elize Strydom. She's the Chief Negotiator at the Chamber of Mines, and she confirms that it's going to be very tough, but that's what we're here to do.